where the technology seems to decline over the years.
Or like,
I
well,
mean,
I was thinking,
take a look at Knights of the Old Republic and compare that to, say, A New Hope.
Yeah.
Everything in A New Hope looks so much more
Prettier.
ragtag and falling apart.
Mind you,
and
most of we don't actually go to any
primitive
of the core worlds
by comparison.
If you look at, we really don't go to a lot of the core worlds in Star Wars.
This is true.
In the older of the series.
This is true. However, you do see lots of technology from this newer era. Well, Star Destroyers is a prime example.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be state of the art from Kuat Drive Yards.
What you have to remember is
the older ones actually they look better, and oftentimes they are better in many ways.
Yeah, like the older technology.
Yeah.
But again, that can attribute to the fact that the Emperor showed up, and he's like since the Empire was created, he took over. Or there's a decline in a lot of industrial.
Well, yes,
work.
except for Kuat Drive Yards, they actually endorsed the Empire and they like it. But now, granted, most of the other companies, yeah, they did either disappear or boycott the Empire or go into hiding, and that's where you see most of the X-Wings come from, is from these rival companies.
I love how we just kind of deviate completely from Korra to Star Wars.
What can we say? We're geeks.
Yeah,
but anyhow,
there's a lot of linkage to it.
Going back to Avatar, yes, there's progress being made, and I really appreciate that. And I have high hopes for the series.
I'm almost curious if in the next series, like if they plan on making another series after Legend of Korra, will it be in a more modern day kind of wherever their world's called or whatever? Like it would be interesting. Like I just picture like the new Avatar with like a lock or like. Which one would it be? Would it be an Earth Elemental? Or would it be the Fire Elemental? That'd be the next. No, it would be Earth, because it's air, water, earth, fire. And then air again.
What?
In the Avatar cycle. I'm just trying to figure out who would be the next
Okay, so apparently they have a cycle. I didn't know this feature.
Oh, yeah, in Avatar, there's the cycle. There's water, fire... No, there's water, earth, fire, air. And that's
water,
because...
heart, go planet!
Oh, God, no!
By your powers combined, I am Captain
Planet!
Planet!
And we just lost half, if not all, of our listeners.
I don't care. Captain Planet was a freaking awesome show. I don't care how ridiculous it was.
It really wasn't, but okay.
Whatever.
So going back to the Avatar thing, it's kind of like I want to see I like the way they're moving closer and closer to modern day era, which it shows like a progression.
Yeah, we touched on that like 3 times.
I know, but it's kind of like what I want them to do eventually with Legend of Zelda. Eventually, I want to see a modern retelling of The Legend of Zelda.
That would be unique.
It would be. I mean, can you imagine, like, instead of the Master Sword, it's a shotgun? The Master Gun?
No.
Or it's...
No.
Hang on. Just listen to me. It's like that Romeo and Juliet movie where it was all modernized, and all the guns are all, like, different... like a certain... Are actually engraved in it, like a sword.
Your sword and long sword for the rifle.
Shuffle, yeah.
God.
That'd be hilarious.
Epona
is a type of Mustang.
I'd picture it more as a motorcycle, actually, but now you get the whole horse feel out of it. But anyhow,
oh, wow.
Speaking of seeking, you mentioned steampunk earlier.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually one of my bigger beefs about the culture. Is how many people say that they're steampunk or into it and have no idea what the hell it is. Take, for instance, that Avatar.
Yeah.
In the little preview that we were looking at for it, they mentioned it had a steampunk feel to it. And I'm looking at it, okay, it's more of an Industrial Revolution era. I mean, yes, there is steam technology. However, it's not steampunk. Steampunk implies Victorian era. Which means, rather than having people in these, martial artsy outfits and baggy clothes and robes and whatnot, they would be dressing in suits, in silk, in furs, in top hats, in dresses. That is the crux of steampunk, is that it's within this Victorian era.
That's Western steampunk, though. I mean, there are Asian forms of steampunk which follow a kind of a martial art. I've seen them at cons and stuff like that.
That's just it, though. That's not actually steampunk. They're just calling it that. Okay. It's just like cyberpunk.
You're one of those. It's like it's not Victorian. It has to be steampunk.
No, that's just it, though. You're calling some.
That's like saying
it's related, but it's not it. It's a different take on it, but the core of it is supposed to be a certain way. It's like saying we have the same religion, but different ways of looking at it.
Yeah, it's like saying I'm atheist, and then you go to like you keep saying oh my God, or it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's like that, yeah.
But still, it's... I mean, yeah, they touch on it a bit, but they're still using the wrong name for it. I mean, well, here's another example. If you were to go through, say, costume websites...
Yeah.
And you'd look for, say, steampunk, and you'll see things like neon green wigs, and, like, leg warmers, and all sorts of weird-ass raver crap like that.
That's 80s. That's 80s person.
Yeah, it's like a candy raver stuff and like what do they call them? Gangaro girl stuff. It's just it's not steampunk, and it's like people don't know what the culture is.
Yeah,
they're just labeling everything that way because hey, they think it's cool and they think it fits, but it really doesn't.
No,
I mean, can you picture Queen Victoria with a green hairdo that's all like frizzy all over the place, or
interesting
with like fingerless gloves with like arm warmers and like the spiked collar and no.
That's I think that's actually kind of crossing between like steampunk and goth.
No, that's not even
and
goth.
Rave.
Yeah, rave definitely.
Like rave, goth, and steampunk.
It's rave definitely, and maybe a little bit of cyberpunk just because there's so much Japanese influence in that.
Gothic rave punk.
But no, not gothic at all.
I'm sorry.
No, not gothic.
Oh man.
Gothic is stuff like like Dracula and like formal stuff
I know,
like that.
Sorry, you said the collar with spikes and stuff, and I think.
Okay, yeah, the spiked collar maybe sort of touches on it. It's more like a metal thing.
That's more punk, really. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely punk, definitely. In a nutshell, people don't know what they're talking about, and yeah, they really shouldn't be allowed in your costumes, much less the culture.
Yeah, definitely. Although, I mean, Avatar still pulls it off pretty well.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, from what we've seen, yeah. I don't know. I still find it...
In all fairness, all we've seen is one picture, so we can't really judge the show yet.
Yeah, and it's the back of a girl looking out at an industrialized city.
Yeah, we haven't even seen her face yet. So
I do actually. I think there's probably some photos out there, but we
probably by now.
That was like weeks ago when we started like looking at this stuff.
Well, yeah, we kind of got distracted with the whole Fan Expo thing. That was a really fun con, by the way.
Yeah, although those lineups were massive. We did the foolish thing of actually walking out for lunch and getting something outside.
Yeah, on the Saturday.
Had to wait 3 hours in a line just to get back in. There was 3 times the people that there should have been at that con.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that even though they were filled past capacity and had a lineup that long to get back in, they were still selling tickets on that day.
Yeah,
and what's more, they were denying people who had pre-ordered their tickets entry.
See, that's just not right.
That's just a dick move,
and they weren't
there.
Refunding.
Yeah,
because they actually say there were sheets on the when you went to go to the ticket booth, you will not get your refund or get refunded or anything. It's like, wow, that's a bullshit.
It is. It really, really is.
I know a lot of people are probably not going to be going to Fan Expo next year because of how badly organized it was this year in terms of the tickets and stuff. It
really, really was. But for the time that we actually spent in there were some really cool stuff. I mean, you got a signature from Lance Henriksen.
Fucking A! Lance freaking Henriksen.
On one of your drawings, no less.
Yep.
And before anyone asks, he's Bishop from